In this on-page SEO step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to show you step-by-step how to do on-page SEO in WordPress using the SEO Yoast plugin, which is my personal favorite SEO plugin. And I'm going to show you, like I said, step-by-step, nothing left out. Just follow along, and we're going to optimize a page on our site. And you do the same process for every page on your site, and your site's going to be very well optimized for on-page SEO. And we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WPLearningLab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If you're new here and you like WordPress tips, tricks, and hacks and getting better at it, make sure you click subscribe, then the bell icon so you don't miss anything. And check out our private Facebook group. There's a link in the description down below. That's where we chat WordPress, help each other with WordPress, and just all around get better at it. And with that out of the way, let's head into screen capture. I'm getting ready to publish this post. It's a post I've had on the site for a while as a draft, and I'm finally getting around to doing SEO on it before I post it. I'm focusing on the on-page SEO. I'm going to show you exactly what I do step by step. We're looking at the post right here. We have a title, obviously. We are in draft mode, so our URL is just a preview URL. But we have content, we have a video in there. We scroll down, there's some images. There's some text explaining what to do or what's being done in the images. And that is the entire tutorial. It looks pretty good on the surface. It's got pictures, video, text, but it's not SEO optimized. And we know this, or I know this, if I go back into my editor for this post, if I scroll down, I have SEO Yoast installed, and I can see that I have a lot of SEO problems in this on-page real-time SEO checklist. Now, all of these dots need to be green. If they're not all green, my on-page SEO is not as optimized as it could be. And I have a tutorial up above explaining how to configure this plugin, so check that out if you want to use it, or watch this video if you just want to see the on-page SEO, because you can do this without the plugin as well. You don't need a plugin for this. I just find it really handy to have this checklist so I can kind of do my SEO without really thinking about it. Whereas all these things in here I used to just have in my head, and I still do from so many posts and so much optimization over time, but it's nice just to have a little checklist. So the first thing we want to do when we get started is type in our focus keyword. In this post's case, the focus keyword is WordPress core files. Now I've done my keyword research, and I know that's a word that, or a keyword phrase that people search for. If you want to know how I did that, click on the link above. That's all about keyword research, and I'll explain how I came upon, not this specific keyword, but how I find keywords and how I know there's traffic for them. So now I've entered this keyword, it's updated my stats down here, and now we have more values in the green. We used to only have 2, now we have 7. And we still have 3 problems and 4 improvements. So let's go through each of these one by one. Let's start with the ones we did right, because you may not have green lights for these. So the focus keyword appears in the first paragraph of the copy. Before I get too far, I should actually say that SEO Yoast has been doing SEO plugins for a long, long time. And they actually have contacts at Google. They're installed on over 5 million websites, so they collect a lot of data on what's working and what's not and how the algorithm changes. And when there are algorithm changes, which happen a lot at Google, then the plugin is updated to reflect those. And so these things will change over time. So an SEO post that's perfectly optimized last month might not be perfect this month because things have changed. And that's just the nature of SEO. But this plugin is always up to date on the latest and greatest trends in SEO. So I just follow what they say, and it works out really well for me. And for a lot of other people, 5 million plus sites have installed, so it must be working to some degree for them as well. So this checklist is very good. So first, the focus keyword appears in the first paragraph of the copy. If we go to our page here, we have a paragraph at the very beginning, and here's our keyword. And if you read that sentence, I say, in this tutorial, I'll show you how to safely replace all the WordPress core files on the live site. That does not feel forced. That keyword in there, nobody reading that sentence would know that's a keyword. Even if someone's an SEO master, they may not know that's a keyword because it just flows so well in the sentence. And that's how you want to write it. You want to write this content for a human reader, but also incorporate SEO to make it rank better. But it's a fine balance. It's an art, if you will. It's a fine balance between incorporating all the on-page SEO factors that you need, but also making it human readable, because the Google algorithm tracks user engagement and whether or not people find value in the material. They have a bunch of metrics they can use to do that. And then they will rank your site lower if they think that your site is low quality or your page is low quality. All that to say, here's our keyword in the first paragraph. That's an important on-page SEO metric. Second green one, keyword density is 0.5%, which is great. Your focus keyword is found 3 times. Well, the range at which the keyword density can vary has changed a lot over time. And many years ago, people used to do what's called keyword stuffing, where they just ram the keyword in all over the place, and there's no value in that anymore because search engines can detect that and they will penalize your site for doing that. So your keyword density now is lower than it used to be. It used to be, when I first started, I think SEO Yoast had it at 7%. And then it was down to 4%, it might actually be 4% now. But you got the green light once you're above 0.5%. If you're less than 0.5%, you have an orange. If you're at 0, you'll have a red. But if you're between, I believe it's 0.5 and 4. Don't quote me on that, but you'll see in here. If you're over the amount, you'll see color change and a recommendation on how to change that. Just go into your content and make the fix. The text contains 628 words. This is above the recommended 300 words, so we get a green light. And if yours is orange or red, just extend the content. It's been proven many times, long form content ranks better than short form content. This page has 0 no followed outbound links and 1 normal outbound link. I try to make sure in every post that I link out to an authority website. It's pretty simple for WordPress because WordPress.org or WordPress.com as well are authority websites. So linking out to an authority website is really easy for me because I can reference something in the help files, in the documentation for WordPress, and that counts as an outbound link to an authority website. And if we want to do an outbound link, let's just see the one we have in here. I'm just going to search for it. That's not it. That is it. So the outbound link that I have currently is to my YouTube channel. So that is not technically the kind of link that I want to have in there, but it is. There's a typo right there, hang on. But it is a link out to an authority website because YouTube is an authority website. I like to have one more topic related, like WordPress, to link out to. So I'm going to try to find a spot in the content to link out to WordPress and add that link in there. And when I have that found, I'm not going to waste your time by finding the exact words I'm going to use to link out. I'm just going to show you how to make a link. So when I have the content found I want to link out to, just highlight the text that I want to link from, click on link. I paste the URL in here, like for example, pound. That's good enough. Pretend that's a link to WordPress. Then I click on add link, and it adds the link right in there. And normally that link would not be a pound sign. It would be something like HTTPS WordPress, if I could spell, WordPress.org. And that will be the link out to WordPress. And I'm going to add a better one later, but that's what we mean when we mean outbound linking. So if I save this draft, it's now going to go ahead and update my checkboxes down there. Scroll down. And now we have 2 normal outbound links instead of 1 that we had a moment ago. No follow is an important SEO term. It means that we are allowing the page rank to flow between websites. In this case, from our website to the other website. And no follow was always used as a protective mechanism to try to not share PageRank with other websites. And PageRank has always been in the past, and it may still be a factor in ranking a website. And PageRank is basically how many inbound links you have and how much page authority a page has. And that can either be focused on that one page or it can be shared with others. The way you focus it is by not linking out, but that's not good for SEO. But if you do want to link out, you make a no follow link, which means that the material or the link juice is not shared with the other website. And it gets a little technical, and really all that matters is that you have links to other websites. You can choose to no follow them. I don't. I make it very normal. I make my SEO very normal looking, like I'm not trying to game the system. If you're adding no follows, search engines will think you're trying to game the system. You're trying to selfishly conserve your own page rank and not share it with the world, whereas normal websites would be sharing things. So everything the algorithms detect are, is it normal, or is this person trying to game the system? If they're trying to game the system, how do we stop them from doing that? So that's something to be thoughtful of or mindful of whenever you're doing SEO. You don't want to look like you're trying to manipulate the system, because every time you do, eventually you get caught. And that's what all these updates were in the past. You may not have been around SEO long enough, but we had the exact match domain update that destroyed a lot of website rankings, Panda, Penguin, all the other animals. There's all kinds of animal updates, and those are all to stop people from gaming the system. If you make your sites look natural and not do anything spammy, then you're not gaming the system and you should be fine. Next one. The SEO title contains the focus keyword at the beginning, which is considered to improve rankings. So if we scroll up, we have the very top, we have our title up here. And I was able to write a natural looking title with my focus keyword at the very beginning. And that's what you want to try to do. If you can't put your keyword phrase at the very beginning, don't force it. Just put it somewhere else in the title. You want to try to make these things make sense to a human reader. Because at the end of the day, the people that will come to your website and maybe buy your products are humans. It's not the Google algorithm. Clearly you want to rank higher to get more traffic. But once you have that traffic, you don't want to have content that's designed for a bot that doesn't make sense to humans. Because then the human's going to say, what is this? And they're just going to bounce off. So always want to make sure that your content is human readable. So the next one, the focus keyword appears in the URL of this page. And that's great. In the URL, we can edit the slug as we go. So we have our permalink here. Click on edit, we can see the full URL. And this one is quite a bit longer than I'd like to see. And I just want to see if there's a checklist item for the length of the URL. And there doesn't appear to be. Oh yes, here it is. The slug for this page is a bit long. Consider shortening it. The slug for this page contains stop words. Consider removing them. So we have 2 warnings and 1 green light for the slug of the page. So our actual keyword is this one. So I'm going to delete everything except for that. I'm going to delete everything after that keyword. And stop words include the word is a stop word. So you want to not have those in the URL. Those are basically where Google stops reading. The bot stops reading there. It's a stop word. It stops interacting with the slug at that point, and it just takes all the information before that point. So if we save this draft, WordPress core files does not contain any stop words. If you want to see a lot of discussions on stop words, just Google it. Google SEO stop words. And now with the updated URL, we have focus keyword appears in the URL. That's good. And we have removed the warnings or the improvements that said to shorten the URL slug and take out the stop words. So that's awesome. So let's get to the next one. Let's do the warnings first. So here it says the images on this page are missing alt attributes. Alt attributes are used for accessibility. When an image does not load, then there is text that can be shown in place of the image that didn't load. And that text is usually used to describe the image. So if you have an image of, say, the ocean, then the alt text would be image of the ocean, and maybe even the location where the image was taken. And that is when the image doesn't load, and it's also used for screen readers for people who have visual impairment. And that is an important accessibility thing, so these alt attributes need to be filled in. It's better for SEO, that's why it's on the checklist. Right now we have a warning, meaning none of them have alt attributes, and because it's a warning instead of a problem, it means it's not a huge ranking factor, but it likely helps. So if we scroll up to the top, we are going to take this very first image, which is this one here. If we go to our site, it's this one right here, wordpress.org, the URL. And we are going to just add alt attribute and say wordpress.org in the browser address bar. And save draft. Oh, sorry. First, I'm going to wreck this image. Going to make it so the image doesn't load. And now in place of the image, we're going to have that text. Come back out here, refresh this preview page. And now we have our broken image symbol and the text wordpress.org in the address bar. And that is how alt attributes work. This may be displayed differently depending on your theme. This is how it's displayed in this theme, and that's all there is to it. So the image doesn't load, then the alt text is shown, or if screen readers are used, alt text is shown. If images load fine, then there is not an issue. It's just used by screen readers. It's not shown on the page if the image loads. And I'm going to go through and update all the alt tags while I pause this video, and then I'll come back and we'll save the draft and see if that updates that checklist item from orange to green. Okay, so I'm done. I've added alt text to all of the alt attributes for all of the images. I'm going to click on Save Draft. I'm going to head down to our checklist. And now let's see what happened. So our alt attribute message is still here, but it's changed. So before it was saying that none of our images have alt attributes. Now it's saying the images do not have attributes with the focus keyword. So let's find one where you can put the focus keyword in. I'm just going to read through. I want to make it natural. You can't just jam your focus keyword in wherever you want anymore. So here's one. Broken website before core files transfer. So I'm just going to say, because our focus keyword, if you remember, is WordPress core files. So I'm just going to add the word WordPress. Now it says broken website before WordPress core files transfer. Click on Save Draft. Head back down to our checklist, and now we have that alt tag moved into the green. If I can find it, here it is. Alt attributes are now in the green. So I only added one focus keyword to one alt attribute, so that's enough for SEOs to make them happy. Next improvement, we've not added a focus keyword to any subheadings. So let's find a subheading, and here's one right here, actually. That's convenient, and this actual one actually works. That's even more convenient. Backup core files on server, I can just add the word WordPress and then maybe make it a complete sentence by adding the word the. So do both of those things. Let's go back over here, search for backup course. Going to just add the word WordPress in here and then add the word the. And the word the doesn't help for SEO. It just makes it more literate and more readable for human visitors. Because it's important, like I said, it's a balancing act between let's make the bots happy, let's make the humans happy. Always a balancing act with on-page SEO. Let's go back down to our checklist. And now that warning is gone, and we have 3 problems to deal with. The problems are SEO issues that are more serious. And so the first one is there's no meta description specified. And this is what is shown in search engines. And right up above, we have a little preview of what this will likely look like in a search engine. And we have our title, our URL, and the meta description is this one down at the bottom. Now the meta descriptions are not used for rankings per se, but a well-written meta description can greatly increase the click-through rate on a search results page. And that's why it's important. If we don't specify a custom meta description, then Google and any other search engine are just going to pull random content from the page. That might include code. It might just be some gibberish JavaScript code that doesn't help anything. That doesn't help the person who's reading this decide to come and view that page. So you want to add your own. You want to add your own custom one. I'm just going to take the first sentence and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to make that our meta description. This will likely be a little bit long. Click on Edit Snippet down here. Paste it into the meta description box. And now the text is red. We have an orange bar here, so it's too long. So let's just delete some of it. See how far back we got to go. So now we're in the green. And as you can see, every character I delete, the green bar goes back a little bit further. A little bit further. So that's how much space we have up till the green bar is done. So let's see if this reads well. The title is WordPress core files replacement done manually on a live site. I'll show you how to safely replace all the WordPress core files on a live site. You may need this process if you encounter the white screen of death. That sounds pretty good. I'm actually going to take out the second on a live site because I have that in the title. It's a little repetitive. And now we have a customized meta description that actually sounds pretty good. There's a good value proposition, which is I'm going to show you to fix the white screen of death, which is a common error. And that's a common phrase somebody who's been around WordPress for a while would know. So I think that's a pretty good description. So I'm going to close this editor. And we see that instantly it's been moved from a problem to a green good result. Some of these things are updated instantly, others require a page update. So if you don't see the changes you want right away, update the page or save the draft, and then it will likely make the changes in this checklist. Next up, there's no internal link on the page. So let's add an internal link. I'm just going to find some text. Let's choose File Manager, go up to the top and click on Link. And you can add the URL to an internal page here if you know what the page is, or you can search for a page down here. Shows the most recent posts first. You can search for a post or page called, I don't know, File Manager in my case. Let's see if I have one. And it looks like I don't. So I'm just going to pick a random one. Let's just take this one. Let's pretend this is an appropriate link internally and add the link. And now if we scroll down, that one's not been updated instantly. That's the one where I have to save the page again. So let's save draft. Scroll down the page. And we see that went from a green to a red. And it's somewhere in here. Oh, here it is. One normal internal link. Last problem, the SEO title is wider than the viewable limit. The SEO title is the one we see right here. If we click on Edit Snippet, we'd see it's generated from some variables. The first variable is the title, which is the title that we enter up at the top, this one right here, followed by the page. Honestly, I don't know what that is. In this case, there's nothing showing up because it just goes from the title to the separator to the site name. This WP is the rest of this title is going to be WPLearningLab. That's what's cut off. So I don't know what page is, but it's in here. But if we take out site name, our SEO title is now shorter than the viewable limit. We don't have that ellipse at the end because we're on cut off words. Click on Close Snippet Editor. SEO Yoast is now happy because the SEO title is completely viewable. Now I know from experience that this is not a major ranking factor, but this is important, just like the meta description, for click-through rates. If your title goes beyond the viewable area and you have important things that are said beyond the viewable area, the viewer will not see them, and that will not entice them to click. In this case, I just have the site title beyond the viewable area. And having the site title is not going to entice anybody to click. They want the content of the post, not the title of the site. So in my case, and in this case, I'm going to keep it overlapping or keep it extending beyond the limit. I'm going to keep this one as red because I know from experience that it's okay in this case. But if your title goes beyond the viewable limit, you're going to want to change your title so it's smaller and it stays within the viewable limit. So let's click on Save Draft. And now this post is done. This post is SEO optimized. We have a green dot here showing this post is good. We have a green readability good, a green SEO good. These are red and orange depending on whether they're good, bad, or worse. And another pro tip for you guys that stayed this long in this tutorial, which has been quite long, is I've added a video to this page. This is a video that's on the YouTube channel showing how this works, replacing core files on a live site. Google owns YouTube, and Google likes it when you include YouTube videos on websites because that just helps YouTube generate more views and more revenue. So adding this to a post gives a slight boost in rankings. So pro tip here is include YouTube videos in your posts for slight ranking boosts. So that's all I do for on-page SEO. Other people may do a lot more for on-page SEO, but this has worked very well for me. And I'm sure if you apply these things consistently and produce a lot of great content, this will work very well for you as well. So that's how it works. I hope this video helps you. If you haven't done so yet, make sure to click subscribe, then the bell notification icon. Make sure you check out our Facebook group in the comment section or description down below. And then click one of these videos that popped up on the right-hand side so you get even better at WordPress. Until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.